so far.
Good morning. I am pleased to be here with my friend, we've done some work together over the years. Philippe Lavie, who's the president of KeyRoad Enterprises, which is a sales enablement training, top-line transformational consulting company, and he's done some great work with clients that we've had. So we have the pleasure of working with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Philippe, and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Same to you. And you know, unfortunately, I'm not being Irish. I don't wear any green.
I have your green. Green
thank you. Thank you.
Philippe, you and I have talked a lot about sales and the discipline of sales over the years. What do you think what have you seen changed in the last handful of years as you're kind of looking at your sales career?
You know, it's interesting. I can spend a lot of time preaching, if you will, but I'd rather do it slightly differently, if you don't mind, for today. I wanted to use one of the example of the companies we worked with you guys, we brought you in.
Right.
It's a manufacturing company in the Midwest, around revenue pretty much mid-size, no issues around that. And they were very transactional from the get-go. And a lot of transaction, average selling price around $8,000. So if you look at 20, 30, 40, $50 million, clearly a lot of transactions. And they brought me in to do a couple of things. We did training, we did messaging, we did a whole bunch of things. But what I very quickly realized is they really could not survive with the model in which they were in. They had to transform, and they really had to retool their entire organization, their entire way of doing business, for a couple of reasons. One, there is a humongous change in the buying cycle of buyers today that we've seen happening over the past 24, 36 months, so a couple, 3, 4 years, where 85% of buyers today will look and develop their requirements and what they need on their own without ever talking to a seller. So they already come, when they call a seller, they already have 85% of their buying pretty much completed.
How is that done? What's changed in the world?
The advent of technology, access to internet, peer review, peer conversations, associations, thought leadership, significantly more informed.
Right. I found that as well.
But they inform only in a certain direction. And it's the direction in which they want to go into. So the role of salespeople is completely, or has completely changed. And it's changed from helping creating a solution and or identifying needs to getting more into very intelligent conversation around why are you going into this direction, Mr. Buyer? What prompted you to look at those types of product or company? What goal, needs, or challenges do you want to achieve that has prompted you to do the homework the way you've done up to now? So there's an element of challenge, there's an element of questioning, there's an element of forcing the buyer from the seller to engage into a significantly more intelligent conversation. That is not being taught. That is not being supported by process, tools, behaviors change, and an adoption and reinforcement of those within organizations. It's not being done yet. 2 reasons. 1, they don't know how to do it. 2, as importantly, they forget that basics, best-selling practices, complex selling, identifying who you talk to, why you talk to them, how you should be talking to them is still very needed. But you have to have those building blocks in place. If you don't have those, you can go into a challenging environment, or you cannot get into somebody's face because they're going to laugh at you.
You're not prepared.
You're not prepared. So there's a preparation both on skills, on processes that needs to be put in place. Once it's done, then you can take it to the next level.
One of the thoughts that I have, that always had, is that, is sales more of an art, or is it about science? Like you're talking a lot about process.
I tend to believe it's a science, and it's a science that's complemented with 2 elements. One is intuitiveness, and true, there's a little bit of an artistic environment to it. But it's mostly science. If you take the best selling profiles of individuals, They all, or at least most of them, will be intuitive, at the seat of their pants, and completely unable to say why they're successful.
Totally.
Science comes when you take what they do well and create a discipline, scalable, and best practices that can be taught. So it's really a way by which you can teach how good salespeople to people that are more traditional than not as good.
How have the advancement of CRM and technology been able to bring the science to people? I mean, we track, number of calls, number of emails, number of demos set, number of demos held. I mean, it really starts to shape what the sales process looks like. Is that continued to be refined as well?
Yes and yes. Yes, it continues to be refined. The way CRM has been used up to, let's say, the past 18 months or so, 24 months, it has been from the management standpoint to control and or manage activities so that based on certain sets of metrics and key performance indicator, they will be or not be successful. Now it's completely changing. CRM are being used and need to be used by salespeople to help them, guide them, to help support them into what are the right best practices and what are the right steps, A, B, C, that they need to do to complete a successful sale from beginning to end.
That takes it, again, become more about process.
Absolutely.
And execution.
Absolutely.
And hitting the markers as we understand the process. How does, and again, I know you spent a lot of time on this issue, but training in this sales, has gone from, feel, felt, found type stuff to when I was getting into business to about process and about discipline. And am I picking that up in the head?
Well, you're changing quite a bit of. I mean, the training has changed quite significantly, and it's changing for a couple of reasons. I think sales organization, because of the way the buying process has changed, has to retool itself. It has to retool itself because it's otherwise too expensive in the old model and ineffective. And the retooling is going to come, in my experience of what I've seen in the marketplace, into two ways. Direct salespeople will be higher caliber, better trained, more dollars spent on making them more effective, so they can get to a place where they have more intelligent, more in-depth, more story-based, more effective conversation at higher level within an organization. That's for the direct sales force. And everything that is more transactional, lower cost, will be outsourced to a company like Acquirent, where, that's really, I've been on this bandwagon, as you all know, for 3 or 4 years or 5 years now. When you and I first got together, I had you come and speak to one of our senior executive roundtable, and that was what I wanted you to talk about, because I see this trend happening more and more and more. And here is why. Cost of training, cost of sales continually increases. Company has to focus its resources where it makes the most sense. Product, processes, admin, back office. I get that. Therefore, they don't have as many discretionary dollars to spend on baseline training. It's too expensive. So they will focus their dollars on training their very strong salespeople, the sales management, and outsource everything that has to do more with transaction, and it's lower hanging fruit. The model that Acquirent brings to the plate, to me, is phenomenal, because if you look at really what you guys do, it's really 4 things for one of your clients. You bring a faster, cheaper, scalable, and disposable sales organization to the plate. Faster because, in the case of this manufacturing company I was talking to you about earlier, we set up a 7 inside sales team in 45 days, with first deal within 60 days. Unheard of. It would have taken this company a year to get to the same result. You guys did it in 60 days.
Well, that's our core. That's our core business.
I get it, but you know what? A lot of people don't get that.
Right.
That's one. Cheaper, because we did the financial guide, did a comparison. You were not more expensive. You were actually cheaper in the onboarding process.
There's no travel,
and it's all here, and it's all done.
Highly controlled.
The other reason it's cheaper is because your people are phone versed, phone expert. You don't find them very easy on the outside. That's the reason. Scalable, because we can start with 3, go up to 7, bring it down to 5, go up to 16 within a heartbeat, because you guys have your hiring arm. You you can bring it up. So it's extremely scalable. And disposables, because the good people, company can buy them out from you, and they become the W2. Or if the market hits, bump, and I have 12 guys working under your umbrella, and I don't need 12, I need 5.
It's my problem.
It's your problem, not mine.
Yeah.
So it's huge. The model of this faster, cheaper, scalable, and disposable in the model of an Acquirent is, I think, phenomenal. And I truly believe that it's the future for the next 3, 4, 5 years.
The wind's been on our back. We've been very fortunate, but it's
you guys deserve it.
Well, thank you. It's through friends like yourself and others that we have been able to continue to scale this business. So, Philippe, if I want to learn more about your business, KeyRoad Enterprise, where do I go?
Easy, KeyRoad.com. So it's like a key and a road, KeyRoad.com. Plenty there. You guys can call me. That's fine. They can call you, and you'll give them my phone number. I have articles published and everything else, so LinkedIn.
Thank you, my friend.
My pleasure.
As always, great. And let's
stay in touch.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody.